Hi guys, so this video is if you're competing for the first time. So competing for the first time can be very, very daunting. You're going to be on stage in a bikini, in your trunks if you're a bodybuilder, and there's going to be hundreds of people there potentially. So it can be, you've got all these people looking at you and you're expected to perform and you're expected to look good. So I wanted to make this video to help those that are thinking about competing or that are competing for the first time to try and not make the mistakes that I did. So in my first show, yes, I got second, but I could have been better. And there's certain mistakes that I made that I would love to see other people not make and to be their absolute best the first time they compete. So when I was 16, I was 9 stone, so I felt really skinny, and that's one of the reasons why I got into weight training. And on the prep, your carbs are going to drop potentially, your fats are going to drop potentially, your cardio is going to go high, and you may feel skinny. Some people might like that feeling. For me, it was horrendous because I felt as though I was losing muscle, when in reality, I was losing body fat and I was losing water. So every time I used to feel really skinny on the prep, I would binge, and then that would be conflicting the process. It was not helping me lose body fat, which is really kind of what the goal is when you're leading up to a show, is to retain muscle mass, lose body fat. That's one thing that guys, honestly, like, as long as your protein is in the right place, you're training really hard, and if you're using PEDs, that really helps with retaining muscle mass. By PEDs, I mean performance enhancing drugs, which is obviously used in bodybuilding. That will help keep you more anabolic and help fight against that muscle loss process on a prep. So although you might feel really skinny and small and weak, you've got to fight through that and just think it's all for the good of losing body fat. I could have looked way better my first show if I'd have come in probably 5 to 10 pounds lighter in terms of down in body fat. And yes, my shape was good and there was a decent level of muscle mass. And to be honest, the guy that came third to me, he was probably a tad leaner, but way under muscle compared to me. But he beat guys that were bigger than him. And then the guy that beat me was similar muscle size, maybe a tiny bit bigger, but his condition was better. And I completely agree with the decision that he won. So do I think I could have won if I'd have been a tad leaner? I don't know, to be honest. It's like, we're talking about 4 years ago now, so it's quite a while. But anyway, guys, I've got some notes that I just wanted to go through and basically help you not make the same mistakes that I did. So first things first, we've touched on it a little bit. Follow the plan. Do every workout, eat every meal, do every cardio session. Every single day counts towards your progression. And this is a biggie. And in bodybuilding, as many people know, in untested bodybuilding, drugs are sometimes used. And people are using, sometimes lead to a show, a lot of oral steroids. And this can cause the liver to not work as efficiently. And when that happens, it can actually be conflictive in losing body fat. So if your liver is in a impaired function, that can actually be negative for losing body fat. So bear that in mind. Don't be one of these people that just bangs in loads of orals and thinks that that's going to sort all the problems. It's not. There's a lot of successful competitors that don't use any orals whatsoever lead up to a show. And same with the kidneys. And it kind of brings me to say, get your bloods done on cycle. If you're lead up to a show, get your liver checked, get your kidneys checked to see that they're working efficiently. If the kidneys aren't working properly, that can sometimes result in holding water. So look after your organs on prep, guys. Stay healthy. So supplement correctly. So again, my first 2 preps, I didn't take omega-3, I didn't take vitamin D, I didn't take zinc, I didn't take magnesium. My third prep, I added those in and I felt so much better. My third show I won, and I felt my absolute best leading up to that show as opposed to the first two. Little tips on those: vitamin D at around 5,000 IU per day, omega-3 at about 1,000 DPA and 500 DHA, magnesium around 400 milligram, and zinc around 40 milligram. And I recommend that to whether you're male, whether you're female. You will feel so much better if you've got your omega-3s in there, your vitamin D in there, your zinc in there, your magnesium in there. Those, in my opinion, are the absolute staple supplements. And what you've got to remember is, as your calories are dropping down, let's say you're switching from salmon to a cod, or you're switching from more egg yolks to more egg whites, you're bringing your omega-3 levels down. So it makes sense to supplement with them. I personally do all year round because, to be honest, I don't really eat a hell of a lot of salmon. I don't really eat a hell of a lot of egg yolks either. So it kind of makes sense to supplement with omega-3. I promise you, you will feel better if you supplement with those. Get your sleep. So on prep, sleep can be impaired. The body can be more hungry at night time, and you can wake up and be hungry, and then it's hard to get back to sleep. So I get that. It kind of makes sense why sleep may be impaired, but at least give yourself the opportunity to get enough sleep. So make sure you're in bed resting for long enough. If you're tired enough, I'd like to think your body would fall asleep, but that's not always the case. So yeah, massive one there, get enough sleep. I find personally when I'm on prep, I can deal with the hunger, I can deal with the hard work, but if I've had a bad night's sleep, I really struggle then to do anything, to be honest with you. Have someone that supports you. So have a friend that supports you, have a coach that supports you. Just ensure that someone is there, and it would really help if at least you've got someone in your corner that's going to be honest with you and guide you with your training, with your nutrition, to make sure that you're not doing anything wrong. Because the first show, well, any show really, your mind can play tricks on you. You can go too hard, you can not go hard enough. If you've got a clever, watchful eye over you, it really helps to get the best out of you on that prep. Let's have a look. So if you feel hungry, don't binge. It's a good indicator if you're hungry that you're in a calorie deficit and that you're burning body fat. So as long as your diet has been set up correctly, if you're a bit hungry, that's absolutely fine. Just remember, as long as you've got body fat, you've got fuel to burn. So you kind of need to be a little bit hungry sometimes, because then your body knows that it's to use its existing body fat for fuel. If you're banging in too much food and you're not hungry, then the chances of using your existing body fat for fuel are very little or lower. Let's have a look. Good. Now, I think the last one is on prep for a show, you can feel horrendous. As I said, I did. And just bear in mind that as your body fat comes down, life can be harder. Just walking up the stairs can be harder. So just ensure that even though you're feeling like that, you stick to your plan. And there's a saying that many stick by, and I've kind of said it to myself on preps before: the worse you feel, the better you look. So ensure that you just keep on, you get it done. It'll all be worth it at the end. There's no point in putting yourself through a little bit of hell to look average. Take that little step further, chase that horrendous feeling maybe, and I guarantee you look your best. Anyway guys, I hope you do absolutely awesome. Look forward to it, enjoy it. It can be an amazing day. Make some friends if you want to. I found the industry's been pretty cool to really meet some like-minded people. Have a good one, guys.